So the other day I was watching a video and it brought up how Hogwarts Legacy is coming to Switch, but it's not coming till way later than the other versions. Hogwarts Legacy is coming out February 10th of next year on PS5 and PC and the Xbox Series consoles. And then after that, it's coming to the last generation consoles, the PS4 and Xbox One, on April 4th of next year. But then months after that, we get the Nintendo Switch version, which isn't coming until July 25th. So it made me think about how frustrating it can be sometimes to be a Nintendo Switch owner. I mean, the Switch has had this issue pretty much since it came out in March of 2017. For different reasons. Games get ported to the system and they get staggered releases. Take Doom Eternal for instance. The original Doom got ported to Switch, and it worked out pretty well. A lot of people were actually shocked by it. It didn't come out originally, in perfect condition, but after a few patches, it actually became a really good experience on the Switch. But after the original Doom came out on the Switch, then people obviously expected Doom Eternal to come out on the Switch, and they announced that they were going to come out with Doom Eternal, but Doom Eternal didn't come out on the Switch for months, many months later. Like, Doom Eternal originally came out on the other consoles on March 20th of 2020, and the Switch port came out darn near 9 months later on December 8th of 2020. I mean, it's nice that Switch is actually getting a port of Hogwarts Legacy, because you have several developers that won't even consider the Switch. You go back to the situation with the Yakuza games. You had a guy who one of the guys who run the studio talk about how, and I put the quote on the screen, but he pretty much said that, the Switch is too kid friendly for this type of game, and it just wouldn't fit with that type of demographic. So we won't be porting this to the Switch. He pretty much said that. So you got situations like that where a game that's that's been gaining popularity over the years, and the Switch has sold well over 100 million units worldwide, but there's still like these developers that won't even put their games on the Switch. There's different reasons. It's probably a little harder to develop on older hardware because Nintendo Switch is older hardware. You're making a completely different version of the game when the games nowadays are getting made for PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series consoles. And then with the Xbox Series X, there's actually a dev who came out and said that is actually hindering some game development. So can you imagine, like, you've been developing for PC, PlayStation, Xbox One in certain cases, and then Xbox Series X, and then Nintendo Switch. It's a lot of work. So I can kind of understand some of these developers, but at the same time, if you're an owner of the Switch, this kind of stuff, it kind of sucks. The Switch, it's got, some great first party games, but, third parties, can be a little lacking sometimes. I'm talking about the big third parties, games that come in the other system. Like, you won't see a game like, let's just throw a game out there like Callisto Protocol, or the newer Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy 16. You probably won't see games like that come to Nintendo Switch. It's just not, the hardware is not capable, and developers don't want to put the time to make that impossible port. Those come out every now and then, like The Witcher, Doom 2016, and then Doom Eternal. You have ports like that are impossible ports that come, and you could even put Nier Automata in there, even more recently. Or another one, you could say, No Man's Sky. Not all games, that are coming out are going to be on the Switch, and it kind of sucks. For me personally, it's been a frustration for a while now. I've actually had the Nintendo Switch since the day it came out. And pretty much all the different versions of the Switch. But when it came to third party games, it would become frustrating because, when I got the Switch, it was literally like the console like I always wanted. Like I always wanted like a portable console that I could play like actual big titles on, like playing Zelda, the full version of Zelda Breath of the Wild when the Switch first came out. That was like amazing to me. It's like, holy crap, I'm playing an actual, you know, full version of a game on a handheld console, that, you know, that type of experience like really didn't exist back when the Switch came out. That's what made it so amazing. But, fast forward to this year, I got a Steam Deck back in March. And I have to be honest with you, I haven't really picked up my Switch since I got the Steam Deck because it literally takes what, Nintendo Switch did and it takes it like to a whole nother level. Like I'm actually playing, big third party titles, on a portable console. Now, granted, the Steam Deck's way bigger than the Nintendo Switch, but it's still a portable console. It's literally a portable PC. I recently was waiting in the drive-through line to pick up my kids. I usually get there a little early, and I was sitting there playing, Spider-Man Remastered. Like I'm playing a full like console game, you know, outside of my house in a car, while I'm waiting for my kids to get out of school. And with the Nintendo Switch, you don't have those type of, you really don't have that many titles like that to that level. Like we get, Nintendo Switch, it gets it gets third party games, excuse me, but it doesn't get third party games like that, and that can be a little frustrating. It frustrated me, especially when like I would see, a port of a game that I wanted. I would see like, oh, this game's coming on Nintendo Switch, but it's getting delayed. Or I would see a game that would a trailer for a new game, and one of the first things I'm looking for is to see if like, okay, what systems is it coming for? Is it coming to Nintendo Switch? And then it wouldn't come to Nintendo Switch. I'm talking about first party titles. And that got frustrating. And after a while, it just gets to the point where it's like you see other consoles, and like I said, the Steam Deck. Like now that I have the Steam Deck, it's like, well, I can have those, third party titles now when I want to play them, and if I want to go back to the Switch, I just go back to the Switch for like the first party titles. Like I recently went back to the Switch to play, Metroid, Metroid Dread, because that's an awesome game. The whole point of this video is just really just to air out little frustrations, in terms of, the Nintendo Switch. I'm not sitting here about to say, get into no whole Nintendo Switch. I mean, Steam Deck's better than Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Switch is a great console, and I can't wait till they come out with whatever Nintendo comes up with next. Hopefully it's a Switch 2, we'll see, but Nintendo's gonna be Nintendo, so who knows what they'll do next. Hopefully, and like I said, it isn't a second version, a better version of Nintendo Switch, because that would be great. And hopefully more developers, if it's going to be more powerful, so hopefully it's powerful enough, and it picks up is just as much steam as the original Switch, where more third party developers decide, hey, let's port our games day and date to the Nintendo Switch, because that's kind of a frustration. It's got to be frustrating, like I said, sometimes, not all the time, because like I said, Switch is a great console. It's a great console. There's plenty of games you can play on it. I'm just talking really primarily third party. Regardless of that, like I said, the Switch is a great console, open for, an even better Switch sometime soon, that's more powerful, that gets more third parties, that the first parties even run even better, like would be great if they ran like a lock, that they all ran in like a lock 60, that'd be great. But like I said, this is just a little bit of a rant. Just tell me your thoughts in the comments, what you think. Are you a Switch owner? Are you frustrated by the fact that your Switch ports come later, or they come in a bad state, or they just don't come in at all? Let me know how you feel in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.